Today I would like to present a bit from Surah of Shah Latif and would like to share my discussion on it linguistically and philosophically. As all of you know that Shah Latif is a great poet of the world hailing from Sindh, and Shah Latif composed poetry during 18th century, and the surah is very heart-touching surah Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. He has composed his poetry in Sindhi language, and language of entire that language was entire of Sindh in the days of Shah Abdul Latif. However, official language was Persian, but he avoided official language as he did not wanted to quote poet, and he wanted to poet of the people rather than even the poet of the hearts of the people. So Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai composed his poetry uh, through the prevailing folk and semi-historical stories, and throughout those stories he tried to establish his own thesis about different themes, and his cross-cutting theme is the love, and that love has many phases. However, its maturity uh, is very fantastic and wonderful, and he gives mundane touches to his thesis. He gives intellectual and scholarly touches, and he gives the mystical touches to it. So Surah Asa focuses on reflects a few big themes, and that are Tawheed, unity of God, love or ishq, tawakkal or trust in God, taslim and submission, self purification and spiritual certainty. So these are the main themes of Surah Asa. However, Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai has focused on eyes too, and relationship of between eyes and heart, how they play a strong role in process of love and connectivity. Today's bath is Sabai Subhan Je Kar Hawale Kam, Sabai Subhan Je Kar Hawale Kam, Thi Tahqiq Taslim mein Lahe Gam Wahm, Kadur San Karam Hasil Kare Hajato. Entrust all your affairs to Allah. Entrust all your affairs to Allah. Through sincere submission, remove sorrow and doubts. The Almighty, through divine grace, fulfills your needs. Lexically, this bait has Sabai, means entirely, Subhan, the glorious God, Hawale, interest, Tahqiq, research, real certainty, Taslim, submission, Gham, sorrow, Wahm, illusion or doubt, Qadr, omnipotent, Karam, grace, divine grace, Haj, need. Most key vocabulary in this bait comes from Arabic, Islamic mystical discourse, while syntax remains purely Sindhi. It was the great craft and skill of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai that he has used the terms of other languages too, so as he has got immersed those terms with the Sindhi language, and they feel as Sindhi terms. Morphologically, if we are looking on this bit, then imperative verbs dominate. Kar, sabahi subhan je, kar hawale kam. You do interest. Lahe, remove, leave. These commands encourage spiritual practice rather than theoretical belief. Nominal forms Tahqiq, Taslim, Karam express permanent spiritual states. Syntactic analysis of this bait is three sequential clauses: trust, submission, divine fulfillment. These are three sequential classes. Logical progression is human action, then inner transformation, then divine response. The syntactic arrangement mirrors Quranic discourse. So Shah Abdul Latif was great scholar of Quran, Masnavi, Maulana Room, and classical Sindhi poetry, and the other classics of the subcontinent in other languages too. Semantic analysis of this bait is uh, important semantic fields of this bait are trust, certainty, submission, grace, divine omnipotence. Opposing semantic field, anxiety, illusion, doubt. The poem contrasts certainty with psychological unrest. Pragmatic analysis of speech act, this bait functions as advice, spiritual instruction, ethical command, mystical guidance. Audience are every spiritual seeker who is seeking the spiritual or intellectual path. He can get guidance from this bait. Stylistic features of this bait are parallelism, gham vahm, double pairing strengthens emotional effect, economy of language. Only three lines, yet complete mystical doctrine, musical rhythm. So it is great craft of Shah Abdul Latif Bhai that he presents his thesis in first line and then he explains it the same in second line and then he concludes in third line. The short imperative clauses produce oral memorability. Sufi philosophical analysis of this bait. The bait revolves around tawakkal, complete reliance upon God, no passivity, rather active effort followed by trust. This reflects a central doctrine of Islamic spirituality. Taslim, submission. True realization comes through surrender. Submission is intellectual, emotional, and spiritual rather than merely ritual. Here, in the poetry of Shah Abdul Latif, uh, tawakkal, tahqiq, taslim are actions. They are not only theory. Epistemology of this bait Latif contrasts wahm, illusion, with tahqiq, certainty, knowledge hierarchy comes in this way. Opinion, then comes reason, and then faith, then certainty, then direct realization or marfat. Psychological interpretation of this bait is modern psychology identifies anxiety, overthinking, fear, and uncertainty. Bitaille identifies gham, vahm as obstacles. The cure is trust, acceptance, faith, purpose. This anticipates contemporary resilience and mindfulness approaches. Comparative mysticism, if we are looking on it, then Rumi says, leave yourself and become His, means Almighty Allah. Al Ghazali says, certainty removes doubt. Ibn Arabi says, submission leads to unveiling. Shah Abdul Latif says, entrust everything to God. All describe surrender as the gateway to certainty. Quranic resonance, the Beth echoes several Quranic teachings, and whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find rest. Contemporary relevance of this Beth is very much pertinent. It applies on today's mental health. It applies on workplace stress. It applies on academic pressure. It applies on economic uncertainty. It applies on social instability. Message of this Beth is control effort, leave results to the gods. Major themes of this Beth are tawakkal, taslim, divine grace, removal of doubt, spiritual certainty, inner peace, faith over anxiety, human limitations, divine omnipotence. Concluding all the discussions presented in this Beth, we can say that the Beth presents one of Shah Abdul Latif's most concise mystical formulations. Trust replaces fear, submission overcomes illusion, divine grace fulfills human need, spiritual certainty becomes the remedy for psychological suffering. Its linguistic simplicity creates a profound synthesis of Sufi metaphysics, Quranic ethics, and existential psychology, making it enduringly relevant across cultures and historical periods. So, the Beth is very much heart touching and it gives solution to the problems of this time, problems of contemporary world, contemporary societies, because they are entangled in different problems. As firstly, Sabahi Subhana de Kar Hawale Kam, that is entrustship. And entrust all of your activities, all of your things you cannot do to Almighty Allah, and that is tawakkal. So, in this way, trust replaces fear. Otherwise, we fear that this come will not be happen, that come will not be happen, that activity will not be happen, that activity will be remained halfway. So these are anxieties of the contemporary society, and trust replaces fear, and we come out of fear when we hand over, when we entrust our difficult activities to Almighty Allah, and we trust into Him. So that it removes our fear. And if we are looking at human mind or human intellectual or human experience focuses on two major things, and that is fear and greed. If greed or ambition, if we can come out of both the things, we can be we can reach to the point of an upright man, and that is the real destination, how a man can be an upright person. So to be upright, there's need to come out of fear and to come out of ambition and greed. Then submission overcomes illusion. In every domain of understanding, human knowledge faces illusion because he has established his all the theories and teachings on illusion. He recognizes one thing with the help of the other thing. He does not recognize things in their uh, own nature, as he recognizes day after the night and night after the day. So submission overcomes those illusions. Divine grace fulfills human need. When you are entrust everything to Almighty Allah, then divine grace fulfills your needs. And spiritual certainty becomes the remedy for psychological suffering. And this whole world is psychologically suffering because of many ills, and most of them are related to the workplace or with the relationship of human beings. So, spiritual certainty helps us to come out of that entanglement. So this path leads us to the success and leads us to the salvation in terms of intellectual freedom, and we feel a sigh of relief, because those activities that we cannot perform easily with our knowledge, with our experience, and with our practice, and we entrust all of those difficult things to Almighty Allah, and He helps us, and in this way, all of our activities are being fulfilled. So that fulfillment is bestowed by Almighty Allah. So Shah Abdul Latif says very beautifully, सभई सुभान जे कर हवाले कम थी तहकीक तस्लीम में लाहे गम वहम कादर साण करम हासिल करे हाजत. ही बैत तमाम घणो ख़ूबसूरत बैत आहे. त शाह अब्दुल लतीफ़ भिटाई जॾहिं ईअं चवे थो त सभई सुभान जे कर हवाले कम, इहा तवक्कल जी हिकिड़ी वॾी सतह आहे. उन सतह ते माण्हू पहुची जॾहिं अलाह साईं खे सॾु करे थो ऐं सुवाल करे थो ऐं ईअं उनजे हवाले करे थो त उहे सभु शयूं सवलियूं थी वञनि थियूं. ॿी लाइन में हू चवे थो थी तहक़ीक़ तस्लीम में लाहे गम वहम. इन ॻाल्हि खे, इन जेका तवक्कल वारी आहे ऐं छॾण ॾियण वारी आहे, इन ते सभई गम लाहे तूं इनखे तस्लीम में वञी ऐं इन ते भरोसो कर त तोखे कामयाबी मिलंदी. कादुर साण करम हासिल करे हाज थो, त कादुर तुंहिंजी हाज समूरी पूरी कंदो. ईअं इहो बैत दुनिया जे सभिनी मामलनि में कमु ॾिए थो, ऐं हिन वक़्तु दुनिया खे जेके मसइला दरपेश आहिनि उन्हनि में सभ खां वॾे में वॾो मसइलो माण्हू जी ज़हनी छिकताण आहे, ऐं उहा छिकताण इन करे थिए थी त माण्हू कम तमामु घणा पखेड़िया आहिनि ऐं तमामु घणा कम करे खया आहिनि, छाकाणि त हू वॾे में वॾो आउटपुट वठणु चाहे थो, ऐं उहो आउटपुट बस माण्हू मुनाफ़े लाइ वठणु चाहे थो. तंहिंजे करे माण्हू कम घणा कया आहिनि, ज़हन हिकिड़ो आहे, हुन ज़हन जी इहा तरबियत न कई आहे त हिकिड़ो ज़हन 100 कमनि में कीअं हलंदो. पोइ जॾहिं थकिजी पवे थो तॾहिं हुनजो ज़हन ॾुखियो थिए थो, ऐं उहो ज़हन पोइ जॾहिं सफ़ा बेचैन थिए थो त हू ट्रंकोलाइज़र्स लाइ हलियो वञे थो. दुनिया में हिन वक़्तु सभ खां वधीक ट्रंकोलाइज़र विकिजनि था, त उन्हनि ट्रंकोलाइज़र्स जो जेकॾहिं कंहिं वटि इलाजु आहे त उहो शाह अब्दुल लतीफ़ भिटाई जी शाइरी आहे, जॾहिं हुन में उहो चवे थो त सभई सुभान जे कर हवाले कम थी तहक़ीक़ तस्लीम में लाहे गम वहम कादुर साण कदम करम हासिल करे हाज थो. त हू ईअं माण्हू खे सेखारे थो त कीअं कम हवाले कबा आहिनि, कीअं उन्हनि कमनि जी पूराई थी वेंदी आहे. माण्हू पंहिंजे जेको बिलीफ सिस्टम आहे, जेको वेसाह जो सिरिश्तो आहे, उन वेसाह जे सिरिश्ते खे कीअं तवक्कल जे तंद में ॿधे. थोरे जो उहा कची तंद आहे, पर उहा अहिड़ी तंद आहे जेका पार मां तार करे थी. त माण्हू जॾहिं इन ॻाल्हि ते भरोसो करे थो त माण्हू कामयाबीअ जे कंहिं न कंहिं स्टेज ते पहुचे थो वञे, छाकाणि त माण्हू जो इल्मु, माण्हूअ जा वसीला महदूद आहिनि. सो ही फील्स एवरीवेयर लिमिटेड एंड limitations, and to delimit all of those things he applies his observance, he applies his experiences, he applies his knowledge even. However, human power feels limitations, and then a human power needs to be tethered with the great thought, and with that thought of trust and tawakkal, so as he may reach to the success in his life. And this Bait of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai takes us to that point of success and point of interest, point of trust, point of confidence, point of relief, and point of success. Thank you very much. You have watched me kindly. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then subscribe it, and also share your valuable opinion so as we can improve the matter of this channel. Thank you very much.